everyone, and welcome to your pre-recorded video for this week. I am in beautiful New Orleans, so I am not able to be live with you all this week, but as promised, I mentioned to you all on my Facebook Live last week that I would be having a video that I would share with all of you for inspiration that would go live at 7 p.m. on Thursday night. So here it is, and I hope that you enjoy what you're going to be seeing. So tonight, I'm going to be focusing in on the Santa Express product suite that's in our holiday catalog, and I whipped these cards up pretty quick for you. I didn't have a whole lot of time left as I'm packing and getting ready to leave, but I wanted to share with you a really quick way to make some quick and easy Christmas cards, especially if you need a lot of them and you're on a time crunch to get them done. Now I know that it's only the end of August, but you know what? Time to be sending out cards will be here before you know it. Christmas is like not too far away, but this is the product suite that I'll be sharing with you tonight. Now there in this suite you have a bundle, a stamp set, and coordinating dies. I'll show you those in just a second. You have some embossing folders. I'm not going to be using those embossing folders tonight. You also have some iridescent trim. I will show you that. I did not use it on my quick make and takes, but I want you to be able to see how awesome this trim really is. And then it also includes some adhesive backed stars, and I will be using these on our cards and projects tonight as well. So the other thing is the beautiful designer series paper, and I'll be showing you how I really use that paper tonight to make these cards quick and simple and easy. And the final product that we have is the Memories and More Santa's Express card pack and coordinating cards and envelopes. So if you like easy peasy cards, these are awesome to get. I couldn't find mine. I do have one pack of each of these, but I just can't find them right now to be able to share with you and show you them. But the cards are a little bit bigger. The cards are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and then you put your 4 by 6 layers on top of the card bases, and then you can also add some 4 by 3s onto there. So lots of things that you can do to make it quick and easy. If you purchase that, you can also add on the ribbon and the embellishments and doll up your cards in any fashion that you would like. So what I'm going to be sharing with you first is the Santa's Delivery Bundle. Now you can get that bundle for $48.50. And this is what the bundle looks like. So you have the Santa's Delivery stamp set and coordinating dies. Now on the dies, I only used a couple of them so far. What I used is the train, the one for the actual train here, and the one for the little one of the cars for the train. Okay, now I did not pair those two together on my projects tonight, but you're going to see how I used both of these and cut it from the designer series paper. So the only thing I did tonight that involved stamping is stamping the Merry Christmas sentiment onto a piece of my my normal 3/4 of an inch strip, and everything from there is actually done using the designer series paper. Okay, so who's in and who's ready? Now, first of all, we usually have an area of time where we do our sharing. So if you comment on my YouTube video here, your name will get in the drawing, and we'll have 2 drawings next time. I'll be drawing the prizes that I showcased for those of you that shared my Facebook Live from last week, and then I'll have 2 people who will be winning for commenting right here on my my channel here, right on this video. Okay, all right, so we're going to put these away, and I'm going to show you the designer series paper next. So this designer series paper is what really made my cards quick and simple and easy. So let me bring in the paper and show you the different patterns, and again, it's going to coordinate with that stamp set amazingly well. So I'm going to be showing you some of the pieces that I've already cut. So they're not going to be full pieces, but I can get them in my video a little bit better, I think. So we have that pattern right there, and we have this pattern, and we have the gifts. I like the gifts. You have fa la 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 la, like that one. We have a ho ho ho. So there you go, ho, ho, ho. Now, some of the colors that are in this paper, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'm missing one. But some of the papers that are in, or the colors that are in this paper, oh, this one's gonna be, kind of has some holes on it because you're gonna see how I used it. And the back side has the Santa and the train that I'm actually gonna be cutting out. You're gonna see me, how I cut those out and used them on the cards. But the colors that are used in this designer series paper, and I'll flip it over here in just a second, are Bermuda Bay, which I did not use in tonight's presentation, Cajun Craze, which I also did not use, Early Espresso, Evening Evergreen, Granny Apple Green, Mint Macaron, Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, Sahara Sand, and Shaded Spruce. So you're gonna see that I gravitated to some of the greens, the Poppy Parade, and the Sahara Sand tonight for my cards. So you don't have to have all of the designer series papers to be able to make this work, okay? You just need a few of them. Now let's turn these over so you can see the opposite side. And I used both, so this opposite side, like I said, is the trains. I'm gonna leave it on the stripes. You don't necessarily have to have or use all of the paper, but I did. Now, this one's really cool. So this one I normally, you know, it's a 12 by 12, but this would be neat to cut right along these lines right here and use these for scrapbook layouts, which I'm sure is exactly what you're gonna be seeing me do, club members that are part of my scrapbook. If you're not part of my scrapbook yet, my scrapbook club, and you'd like to be, or you want more information, message me and let me know, and I'll share that information with you, because it's a great way to get lots of pages for you to just add your pictures to it, and voila, you have albums done pretty fast. Okay, so that is the designer series paper. So the first card that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight, let me make sure I have them on the right order here, is this one right here. So again, all of my cards tonight use the same template, and I did not make these cards too complicated for a reason. I wanted tonight's presentation to be cards that you can easily duplicate without needing a lot of Stampin' Up! Supplies. So literally what you would need if you wanted to duplicate these cards tonight is you would need the bundle, or if you didn't want to have to cut out these little paper items, you could fussy cut them. But I used the bundle. I used my layering circles, which a lot of people have the circles or the punches already. I used a pack of my Santa's Express designer series paper, and then I used 4 different colors of cardstock. Everything else is paper from that paper stack, okay? Quick and simple, easy. I did not even use this twine, or this ribbon trim, sorry, that's the right word. I wanted to, but I just thought it made the card look a little too bulky because I was going for a more simplistic look. But I did use those beautiful adhesive backed stars on all of my cards. Okay, so for this one right here, I used Granny Apple Green for my card base. And I'm just gonna fold this in half. Now, every single one of my cards tonight for my background right here, the first mat, I used Sahara Sand at 5 1/4 by 4. Now, the other thing is you could also emboss this if you wanted to dress your card up. Normally I do that, but tonight's presentation was all about showing you simple, easy cards that you can make. I literally whipped these 4 cards up during my class on Monday night in about 45 minutes. That included cutting everything, assembly, and cutting an extra to do for my Facebook Live. So it makes these cards really simple and easy to do. Then you're going to choose a couple of the designer series papers from the paper stack. In this case, I chose to use the exact same one. I cut them 4 by 3, and I'm using both sides of it. And you're just going to angle this whichever way you'd like it to go. So I'm just going to put some adhesive onto, maybe this adhesive tonight is giving me grief. So I'm just going to adhere this down to my card, or the other layer here, and it's just going to go slightly at an angle. 4 by 3 and 4 by 3, no waste, literally no waste. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to make sure you saw, can you see that this is like a mint macaron background, and then this is more like the Bermuda Bay? That is the same designer series piece of paper. It just starts more with the light and then blends into the Bermuda Bay. So it isn't 2 different pieces, it is the same piece. I'm just going to adhere that down. Now, from this designer series paper, I punched out one of the circles. So you might be saying, which paper did she use for that? So let me pull it out of here and show you the paper that I used for that. So this is the pack, or the piece of paper that I used for the Santa's trains. So once you cut out all of these Santa's trains, you still have these little circles that you can punch out. Now I found it easier to cut these across to be able to get in there good. Otherwise, because you don't want to accidentally, it's easier to cut punch these out before you cut these out. So I found it easier to cut it along here so I had an edge to get up in there and to be able to punch those out, okay? A couple of them are going to be close, but they still will work, or you just use a different layering circle to make it work. So some of mine are big and some of mine are little, okay? It just depends on how the circle size that you can make work in there to be able to cut those out. But that is how I did that. So I did both the trees and the Santa in the little train. So what I did then is I punched that out with a layering circle, and I did a layering circle behind it using the shaded spruce. So that's just going to go on there like that. And then I used some dimensionals, and I only have mini dimensionals handy at my workstation tonight. So I'm just going to put a couple of mini dimensionals on here. And then this is going to get put up here at the top. Now in advance, I used that die that I showed you when I cut out a couple of these little train cars. Now you could also hook this and attach it on to one of the Santa ones if you really, really wanted to. You then have to have your card run this way, but it could work, okay? But I just chose to put one of them on there. They're all a little bit different based on what is on the paper, but you can cut all of those out. So fun. So fun. Now you can also stamp them and color them if that's more your style. The stamp set has the stamped image there. Then you could just use your coloring blends or your watercolor markers and you could color them in. So here's the stamp set. You can see here the two different images that I'm going to be using tonight where I chose to use the paper. The last thing that I did for this card is I stamped Merry Christmas about 3 or 4 times on a strip of a 3/4 inch strip. And you can cut this however you would like to cut it. So this first one I cut at an angle and I layered it right here in the middle. I chose Poppy Parade to stamp all of my inks or all of my sentiments just to keep it easy so you wouldn't have to have a lot of different colors of ink, but you could use different ones if you wanted to. You could use Shaded Spruce, you could use Evening Evergreen. Again, I just chose to keep it simple and I chose to use the Poppy Parade. The final thing that I did on this card is I topped it off with a couple of these adhesive backed stars. And the neat thing is these come off super duper easy with the adhesive. And then you're just going to adhere them down wherever you think that you might like to put them. I think I put 3 on most of them. I even put one here on this little sparkly, like it's a snowflake from the tree there. So maybe I'll add one there. I just realized I really like that one there. And there you have the first card. Quick and simple, easy. And if you didn't like the light color of the green, but I wanted to bring out the green in the tree right here, you could have also paired this or put behind here Shaded Spruce, Evening Evergreen. You could have also brought out and concentrated more on the Poppy Parade. The sky's the limit when it comes to all those colors that are in our designer series paper. It makes it very, very easy for you to pick and choose the favorite colors and pair them together the way you choose. Okay, so that is my first card. My second card is going to be, I like to pull them up here in the order in which I have them on my stash. Okay, this one right here. Okay, so this one, again, I chose to use a tree from the designer series paper. And I'm going to show you the designer series paper that I used for that. Maybe I will, but it's the Ho Ho Ho, if I can find where my Ho 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 piece is. There we go. Okay, so on the back of this, again, you can see these little trees right here, and that's all of the different little carts they have, or the cars for the train. So I punched these out. Again, I cut across here like this so that I would have lots of room. And then I cut out these first and then went back and cut those out using the coordinating die. Okay, so for this one, I wanted to focus in on Poppy Parade. So I chose Poppy Parade for my card base on this one. Again, every single card tonight is going to have that 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the So Saffron. Okay, so you guys have to tell me, is this not quick and simple, easy peasy? Now, you're seeing me use the Santa's Express Designer Series paper tonight, but I want you to kind of think outside the box. What other paper does Stampin' Up! Have right now that you could use that would probably also be pretty awesome with these? And I'm here to tell you that you could easily use our gnomes as well. I know the Gnome Designer Series paper is not available right now, but you could do the same thing. You could design gnome cards similarly using the gnome paper and then putting one of those cute little gnomes on the top. So, you know, whenever you see Designer Series paper that includes images and things, think of how you can use those images as elements on your card and not just always feeling that you need to stamp, okay? Now, I love stamping, but I also sometimes thrive for something that is a little bit more simplistic. And that is exactly what this is a little bit more simplistic. And for those of you that maybe don't have a whole huge big stamping supply, this is perfect. I then have a layering circle, and I cut out a evening evergreen one behind it that's a little bit bigger so that it would bring that tree right out to life. And if my ribbon was a little bit more flat, I probably would have maybe added some ribbon around here. But I find this ribbon to be a little bit harder ribbon to kind of work with. It's a little bit more, I don't know, stiff and thick. But it's great. I think it's great for 3D projects. I actually have used it on a couple of those, and it works really, really good. Okay, going to add a couple of the mini dimensionals to this. And then I'm just going to add this little tree right to the center, and then added my little Merry Christmas down there on the bottom. And this one I'm just going to cut straight off, and we're going to add a couple of dimensionals to that. And finally, the last thing that we'll do is we'll top it off with some of those awesome stars, those adhesive backed stars. Boy, I'm not used to using mini dimensionals. They don't like me. Okay, there we go. And then last but not least, we're going to put on a couple of these little stars. Again, adding them wherever you would like. And I'm going to add one here as well to the center. All right, there you have our second card. Same template, but a totally different look. Okay, my third card for the evening is going to feature the actual Santa in his little train. And it's this card right here. Now, for this card, you can tell that my back or my cardstock that I used is Mint Macron. And so by using Mint Macron, it really brings the focal point of my card to the Poppy Parade layer that's behind here. And it also pops open and pops up, I should say, the train. If you wanted to use a different color back here and make it maybe even pop a little bit more, I could have easily used the Poppy Parade, but I was trying to mix and match and use up different colors to showcase how easy it is to make cards that look pretty and with many different colors. Okay, so I chose to use the Mint Macron on this, followed by, of course, as I mentioned, the Sahara Sand that is 5 1/4 by 4. And then we're just going to adhere that together. And then for this one, I chose these two pieces of paper. So it is the Ho 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 and the Fa La La. I thought the two that had the graphic, or the two that had the words, kind of went really nice together. And I'm just going to adhere these two together like this. And then this whole thing will adhere to my card. If my adhesive will cooperate. All right, so just going to adhere that on. And you can see I'm kind of making sure the red layer is the one that is straight and leaving this one at an angle. And then you have your cute little Santa, and look at different colored jackets and everything like that. So I like it that they're all a little bit different, so you don't have to always have the same colors. You can kind of mix and match. Whoops, and I'm just going to add about 3 or 4 little mini dimensionals. I am going to make it with these minis. Minis and nails don't go very well together. I've learned that the hard way. All right, so I'm just going to take off these little backings here. Maybe because they're all sticking to me because I don't like the mini dimensionals. They work great, but they're harder for me to peel the things off of. Okay, and then this little Santa is going to go right here in the middle. And then the final thing on this, well, close to the final, is adding that Merry Christmas sentiment again. And I'm going to do it that way for this one. And then adding a couple dimensionals on there. And then again, the final thing is putting it on here together with the or adding the little stars to it. Okay, so quick and simple, easy cards, all the same, just using a little bit of a different, or the same template, but using different designer series paper and giving you a completely different look, I think anyway. Okay, so there you have that one. And again, you can add those little stars anywhere that you would like to. I just chose to add them, you know, where I did because I don't know. But you can add as many as you'd like. So if you want to add more, you can add more. All right, the final card that I'm going to share with you tonight is this one right here, and it focuses in on that other tree that I showed you that I got from that one piece of paper. For this, since the tree is my focal point and the tree is mostly in shaded spruce, I chose shaded spruce for my card base, followed by that awesome Sahara sand. Now you could also have used basic white for this, but I think the basic white would have been a little bit more stark, and this just kind of makes it look a little bit more muted and a little bit more neutral than the Whisper White would have. Okay, so we're just going to angle these two like that, and then these are going to get glued down. Again, quick and simple and easy, and all of these pieces that you see me gluing down from the designer series paper are cut at 4x3, so there is no waste. Now you may need to consider getting 2 packs of this paper because I did use some of the paper to cut out all the different elements on the cards. So depending on how many you need, you might need a couple packs of this paper. But again, a really quick and simple, easy way to be able to make your Christmas cards without a whole lot of fuss, okay? And if you didn't want to purchase the bundle, you could just cut out those, you could cut out the Santa and the Santa and the train and the little cars by hand. They're not that hard. And you could use a different sentiment from a stamp set of your stash that you already have. Okay, so I always like to give you guys the frugal option as well, because I totally understand we all have a budget and all only have so much to spend on our crafting habit. All right, finally, we're going to add the Merry Christmas to this card. So I'm just going to add it on here with some dimensionals and going to take them off here. Now the other thing I want to mention is I have an ordering promotion going on while I'm away. So it's called my ordering promotion while I'm away. Actually, I don't have a formal name to it. But I do have an ordering promotion while I'm gone to New Orleans. Since I'm not able to inspire you and post a lot and create with you, I am offering anybody who puts in a minimum $35 order with me a free embellishment that you'll get in the mail, a free embellishment of my choice. I'll surprise you with something, but it will be valued of at least between $5 to $8. So you'll get a free embellishment. It might be a bolt of ribbon. It might be some kind of an embellishment, but you will get a free embellishment and you will get 5 free cards in the mail. Now in the description of my video that went live with you right here, there's a link that you would just use that link to purchase the order. Now it's only going to be good for orders that are not in conjunction with my scrap club or my card club, and the order has to be placed while I am gone, which is going to be, I'm actually leaving Wednesday night. So the promotion begins Wednesday night and goes through Sunday night. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days. Again, you will receive a free embellishment valued at either between $5 and $8. And you will receive 5 free handmade cards already made that I have. I've got so many cards in my stash that will be sent out to you the following week. Okay, so a little bit of a promotion for you all while I am gone. Okay, so this is your final card for this evening. So let me bring them all in. I'd love for you guys to comment and tell me which one you like the best. They're all the same kind of template, but again, a little bit different. Let me make sure I don't move them too far out of the camera here. So yeah, they're all a little bit different, but the same kind of template. And the whole reason for this evening was so that you could easily create for yourself some cards that are easy to duplicate without having to have a lot of hassle. Like I said, I literally designed, 2 of my ladies that were still here when I was working on these can vouch for me. I literally designed these in about 45 minutes. That included cutting everything, gathering, getting out all the cardstock, and then even cutting the extra one that I made for all of you, literally 45 minutes. So anyway, thank you all so very, very much for joining me tonight. I cannot wait to be inspired at the Stampin' Up! Backstage event for leaders, and I can't wait to come back with having lots of inspiration and things to share with all of you. I will be back here for my next Facebook Live with you all next Thursday, live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on my, Facebook page. All right, thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. Again, I missed you all. It's not the same without your comments and your interaction, but I'll be checking your comments when I get back. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, bye everyone, and we'll see you next week.